About to incite a riot. Make some noise, break up the silence. Scream and shout, no being quiet. Spread the facts until you buy it. Come to my den, I got toys for torture. We drink the blood fresh just to stay immortals. We bring a thug fest, calling all New Yorkers. And keep a bayonet for the future slaughters. Take your bets, the players make them offers. Heads or tails, your life is on a quarter. All the kings men tally up their horses. Forging ahead with a secret missile launching. Off to Georgia and start to cross the borders. In my bedroom, I'm making all the orders. If you come, you won't make it till morning. Get the picture, maybe kinda sort of. Ski mask, check. Extra filter, check. Scissors, check. Duct tape, check. H2O, check. Ammo, check. Ropes, check. Receiver, check. You're gonna get it, turn in your weapons. I'm under pressure, don't you forget it. You're gonna get it, turn in your weapons. I'm under pressure, don't you forget it. I got the right moves, I know what you do. You know I love you, but I'll pursue you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to a man with a meaner face than Michael Phelps. You're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show.
Yo, this is the earthiest, dirtiest, spitting every word of it, Jaja, right here to the right. Bruce, what's up, yo?
That's right, to the real right, because, you know, all these other guys that say they're right, they're really like a left wing or a left thigh, or they're just a bunch of establishment hacks.
Yeah, I agree, Bruce. We've been listening to almost everybody, and it's like one joke after another. Every single one of these talk show hosts, they're just shilling. They're shilling. They all know Hillary's going to be elected. That's why they're all preempting it. And they're already gearing you up. All right? They're pretending they even like Trump. They like Trump. Everybody likes Trump. He's a great guy. You know, I like to have a drink with him too. You know what I'm saying? But the facts is that Hillary is going to be president, and she's just part of the monarchs.
Whether we like it or not.
Yeah, man, whether you like it or not.
I just put a hashtag up on TalkStreamLive. We want to thank TalkStreamLive for having us up on TalkStreamLive, very high up on TalkStreamLive. I want to thank our listenership listening to us on the best in streaming live talk radio. That's TalkStreamLive. And you were mentioning Hillary's going to be president. Well, you know what? They're making all these excuses all over the radio, everywhere. Whether it's CNN or freaking Fox News, they're making excuses for Trump everywhere, to the point where Trump has become like Roberto Duran, where he's saying no mas.
Yeah. I mean, people, it's just a show. Obviously, it's a show that people are watching. You're all engaged. Like, if you really thought that Trump had a chance, I mean, it's just a fucking show, man. This guy's like wide wrestling, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's who's funding the show. That's who's paying for Trump's sandwiches. You see, Trump made a deal with the boogeyman. You saw it on WWE, if you remember that. He popped out, he came up, he scared Trump's broad away, because, you know, he loves women so much. He walked out there with, like porn stars, you know.
But Alex Jones said he was gonna go gay for.
Alex Jones wants to give Donald Trump a blowjob more than Puto Putin.
Yeah, he was amazing today. I couldn't believe it. He was just like...
He said he was gay for Trump.
I was gay. He goes, I'm gay for Trump. I could just see that. I mean, do you think that he'll be on the receiving end or the giving end?
He's still a plumpy, fat bastard. That shill bastard. It's just funny. That's one of the many examples that just prove that Trump is part of the no mas train. Trump is going to give in like Roberto Duran did to Sugar Ray Leonard. He's just going to say, I'm not even going to fight. That's it. Oh, it's rigged. It's rigged from the start. Why do you think Don King was at the RNC? Because it's freaking rigged.
Yeah, man, it's rigged. It's totally planned. It's scripted. Freaking Hillary Clinton, Bush, Clinton, Obama, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then back to Clinton.
Back to Clinton, yeah, the 300 freaking $billion woman. I don't know how much she's worth. $3 mil.
Speaking of
probably more than, it's probably $3 billion. And there's this hashtag we got going around: Dead Broke Hillary. You know why? Because she's going out saying that she's a common person, that she's going to go and fix the roads. Haven't the libtards campaigned since day one about fixing our roads and all this communitarian bull crap? And they're still saying it today. I mean, did she have to run for president? Why didn't she just team up with Barry while he was in the White House? No, our roads are still for shit.
Yeah, our what? Our roads?
The roads.
Okay.
How many potholes did I hit across the freaking country?
Okay, because their roads is paved with gold. See what I'm saying? Because Hillary, it just so happens that a new movie's coming out. It's called Anthropoid. Okay? It just happens to be about Reinhard Heydrich.
Who you think is her Nazi grandparent, Lebensgrandparent?
I do believe it is. I believe it's her.
That's why I posted the show on this fringe freaking Facebook group called Hoaxes and Imposters or whatever, because you're literally like the Dallas Goldbug of the legit Dallas Goldbug of this show.
Exactly.
Because that guy will tell you that Zabimba Brzezinski is
the same person
is freaking Jose Canseco, but really they're just cousins. But you try to go to like the genealogy almost as much as you can.
Well,
you look at the facial features. I mean, as an artist, right? You're one of those artsy fartsy types, right?
Yeah.
Those
first,
bohemians.
I start with the facial features, and then I go into the genealogy of the people, and then usually what I find is a CIA cover-up story in Wiki that like doesn't make sense or doesn't add up.
So Heydrich is Hillary's tata.
Exactly, it's her grandfather.
And they're making a movie about that Nazi, Reinhard Heydrich.
Right, because the mother was supposedly Dorothy Rodham Clinton, right? That was the mother, Dorothy.
And then Trump acts just like Charlie Sheen, and then you had said on a Facebook post that, they're cousins or whatever.
That he's short, yeah.
Oh, the Albert Spears Nazi people.
Right.
You see, it gets downright hoaxy, folks. You just down the rabbit hole with the Bruce Montalvo show. That's what Jaja does nowadays, folks. She is on the cutting edge of like finding out hoaxes and imposters.
Well, you know
and,
why?
Like, Nazi lookalikes.
Well, do you know why? It's because
why?
There's nobody in the history of art and music that has been stolen from as much as me. And it was the realization of...
You're going to keep crying about it? You're going to make something
No, I'm going to tell you why I'm a fucking expert, Bruce. It's because the Nazis robbed me, and I had to figure out how they robbed me, and then why they robbed me. And then I realized, oh shit, it's
a huge network. Right.
Yeah.
It's a huge network, and it goes back to the Inquisition. And you know, if you're an artsy type or a poet type, which most Jews happen to be.
No,
right?
that's not
well,
true.
It goes back, whatever. You always,
but there's a lot of... They do
right.
feel that artists
all a bunch
are
of schmendricks from Brooklyn.
No. If you're part of the brainwash, they're not...
Bunch of Woody Allen.
They're not going to look at you. If you're part of the society's people that have been brainwashed by TV, you know, you turn it on at 7 o'clock, you leave work at 6 o'clock, you know, and you go eat your freaking...
Yeah, they're part of the They Live zombie culture. But here's the thing. I was talking about Phelps' face earlier. Now, I'm watching the Olympics on YouTube because I'm not watching any programming on TV, right? We're watching the Olympics. I saw this guy get knocked out, like, by this, like, British guy. I mean, he just, like, freaking knocked him out with, like a bunch of, like, sloppy punches. But his eyes were closed. It was, like, the worst kind of boxing you're watching. But it was, like... It was the only thing excitable to watch. I mean, watching these guys freaking go toe-to-toe. Because the Olympics are boring as hell. So then we start watching, the Michael Phelps and the butterfly and the breaststroke. And,
I couldn't even watch what he was doing.
We've been doing that. We've been going to the best pools. And literally, I have, like, the best breaststroke. I should have been in, like, the Olympics. But we're watching this. And the guy's got these hideous... like deformities, these little circles of like solar or whatever the hell, but it turns out he's putting cups on. It's called cupping, right? It's some type of Chinese water torture, but you know what I think it is? I think it's straight out of the Opus Dei Illuminati freaking branch of Jesuits.
Yeah.
I think it's some type of Jesuit, homage.
Well, they said that it's 13th century Chinese torture. So it is real verified torture that it turned out that some people felt actually relieved them of something. But I don't know what the fuck is up. They say that Gwen Paltrow and a few other people have been getting...
No, I'll tell you what they're doing. They're glamorizing torture.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're
glamorizing
totally.
It, and they're using the Olympics. Oh, look at this freaking guy that looks like a fish. And then we were watching this other thing on YouTube. Right next to the Olympics was this thing about genetically engineered babies. This is why we wanted to title this show. Eugenics Science Exposed Genetically Engineered Super Babies.
Right.
Because we're talking about Hillary being related to Heydrich. Well, that Hitler branch of freaking DNA and the Nazis, the bloodline, it continues. And, I mean, did the Nazis revive the Olympics? They did.
Well,
they revived the Olympics from ancient Greece.
Yeah.
They brought it back, so it makes perfect sense that this freak, Michael Phelps, who's got like more gold medals than even individual countries.
Yeah, well, I said that, Bruce. I said that.
Is some type of freak
you were
like that.
like, well, he swims so amazing. I'm like, you would too if your legs were freaking shorter in proportion than your...
He's genetically engineered. He's a genetically engineered freaking super baby.
Right, that's what I said to Bruce. So then what's amazing, as he was watching the stroke, I said it from another room. I said, that motherfucker's an engineered designer baby. And he just happened at the same time. His eye was on YouTube at the next video, and it said there was a skip on a video, and then it talked about what's in it, CISPA? What was it? CISPA, designer babies and engineer,
Well, the program was called CRISPR. But I'm pretty sure it's got a different name in some DARPA freaking engineered lab. Anyway, I have the article right here in front of me. Thanks, Michael Phelps, for glamorizing cupping quackery. That's what it is, quackery, folks. It's quackery. He looks freaking ridiculous. The article states, so in case you hadn't noticed, I was taking a brief vacation, long weekend, blah, blah, blah. This is some asshole, blah, 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 completely. So this guy over here at Science Blogs is stating the obvious, stating that they're glamorizing this shit.
I want to everybody raise their hand who's going to go and cup themselves.
That sounds funny. Go and cup yourself.
No, the only cupping I want to do is, I did say I was the dirtiest.
The only cupping I want to do is cup your amazing Brazilian ho-hos. Weren't you coveted in Brazil? Didn't you sell a bunch of albums and show up on their TV?
Shows. I did.
They couldn't get enough of your little sexy body and your shoes and the little sexy dancing you did, right?
Yeah.
Like on VH1 and stuff.
It wasn't really VH1 that I was on. I was on MTV.
But you danced. Oh, what? Oh, wow.
Something like that, and a few other
on
things.
On their version. Oh, wow.
And they're like MTV's called Blackie Television or some shit. It's like Black TV's hip hop. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
it reminds me of this article they're coming out with now, Black TV. Now they want to have their own black college courses. I mean, black people literally have become the biggest racists in America today.
Some are. Most people are.
It's wild. It's wild, folks.
I don't know.
It's wild how racist.
Coming over to the Wild West, I think that I can understand how they feel more. I'm from New York, and I have no sympathy for black people there. I'm sorry. A lot of black people, they're my friends, and people are fine over there. But coming over, and you could do well, but coming to the West and shit, the black people, you see that they're far and few, and most of them are poor. So I feel like there aren't any opportunities here. I do feel like, they're somewhere downtrodden, I've yet to see a well-to-do one. Believe me, if there was somebody that I ran into that was black, I'm fine with them, I have I'm the least racist person in the world. Seriously.
Nobody cares about, you having to make excuses on why you're not a race baiter. Look, we're not catering to any PC, libtard audience here. I don't cater to anybody like that. Anyway, you're listening to the Bruce Montalvo Show live from the Wild Wild West here in Arizona, where they're saying that Trump's going to lose Arizona. I've seen so many Trump freaking signs all over the place in Arizona. It's not even funny. I haven't even seen one Hillary Clinton bumper sticker. I think I saw an old lady, that was getting picked up for dialysis, and the bus had like a Hillary Clinton sticker on it. I don't know. I don't see him, folks. But they're saying that Trump's going to lose Arizona. I don't think so. He was in Arizona last week, actually. Last show, he was here on the weekend. And, wouldn't it have been funny if the MK Ultra shooter that shot Gabby Giffords would have shown up there and he would have been, like, at a Trump rally? No. I bet you if that would have happened, they would have been with that all over the freaking lamestream media. Oh, Trump has psycho killer in the background. Well, that's exactly who Clinton had in the background. It was like the Twilight Zone. Clinton had Omar Mateem's father, that crisis actor from Orlando that didn't kill anybody because it's all a hoax, folks. I mean, it's all part of the Smith-Mudd propaganda to go after guns. I mean, they've been doing this since Ruby Ridge. Hell, they even try to Ruby Ridge me, my own family. They could freaking go fuck themselves.
Yeah, but you weren't a paid crisis actor.
Exactly, but we're talking about paid crisis actors here. You're trying to reroute me. That's exactly who Clinton had in the background. She had the father of a crisis actor, and the media didn't say a damn thing. And this guy's the father of a guy that apparently butchered all sorts of people in Orlando. And nobody says anything. So what if Trump would have had Jared Lee Loughner's dad at this Tucson rally?
Well, I thought that Trump was only there because he owed $83,000 to the
Tucson police. Right.
He was just trying to get some dough.
If he loses Arizona, that's probably going to be the reason why he loses. Is because he owes the cops here a bunch of dough.
Wait a second.
I mean, even the communist Bernie Sanders paid up here.
It doesn't matter what these freaking voting booths say. I mean, look what happened to Al Gore and Bush Jr. for the second time. It was totally, like, fraud. I mean, they put in who they want. This is monarch, okay? This is the illusion of a free and democratic voting. Just get over it. I mean, in a way, like, I'm tired of talking about it because, to me, it's so freaking obvious. These people are politicians, they're actors, and at the same time,
and then break down that word, politician. It's like policy tick, bloodsuckers. That's what they are. That's what they are. I mean, it's insanity, literally doing the same thing over and over again. Hillary Clinton, I mean, they don't need to cancel the elections. They don't need to suspend the elections because Obama doesn't need to do that. Because Hillary Clinton is going to be Obama's third term. She's going to go in there and outdo Barry. That basketball dribbling cocksucker. I can't wait till he's out of office. But then again, what are we going to get? I mean, everybody. I've become apolitical. I've become apolitical because it doesn't matter who it is. The libertarians have disappointed time and time again. They're losers now. They're owned by that freaking fruitcake Peter Thiel. And I mean, I'm really sick of this crap. I mean, I thought I can rely on their principles. You can't rely on any government, on any type of government agency, because that's what political parties are. They're just glamorizing government, like Michael Phelps is glamorizing that Olympic pseudoscience cupping.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen his face? Look at his face right here. He looks like fucking Anakin Skywalker. That's literally who you have running Washington, D.C.
You know,
a bunch of guys that have Michael Phelps' face.
He looks like what's his face? Mark Zuckerberg. That's what he looks like. Mark Zuckerberg's old redhead. This guy's like. He looks like a genetic
Dallas Goldbug, eat your heart out.
Yeah, really.
She's way better than you.
It's true.
You hear that? You hear that? Michael Phelps is related to Mark Zuckerberg.
Gotta be.
Wow.
Somehow.
They should be putting those two faces together, and it should be like all over the blogosphere.
They have the same teeth.
All over the Montalvo nation.
The same bulging eyes, the same long face, the same Adam's apple, the same kind of lips. Same kind of nose. I mean, these guys are very similar. They're like some kind of family, whether they're second, third cousin.
But that's who's running Washington, D.C. Guys that have Michael Phelps' face now, with the same cloak. Okay, we saw it. We drove through there. And what are we going to get next? Because Obama's terrible. You're going to have Clinton in there. Okay, I have my crystal ball in here. I'm the great Bruce Mundi. I have my crystal ball here, and I am predicting to you.
You?
Yes, you can rub my crystal ball. Yes, here it is. My crystal balls. Anyway, folks, I have the future right here, and you know what I see in the future? I see if Hillary Clinton wins for the next 4 years, it's going to be nothing but impeachment this, and she's corrupt that. You know why? Because you haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg yet on how corrupt Hillary Clinton is. I mean, she goes all the way back to freaking Watergate. She's been disbarred. She's protected freaking P2 Lodge style pedophiles. I mean, the woman is horrendous. But what's even more horrendous, all these idiots that were originally in alternative media flapping their gums about, bipartisan big government establishment, but then they go and they join the Republicans. They literally jump in bed with the Republicans. And now they're all just having an orgasm for Trump. A guy that said that just print the money to the Federal Reserve. Oh, just print the money. Mm-hmm. I mean, Trump is more crooked. That orange cock stain Trump is more crooked than fucking Don King.
Yeah.
That's why he's in Las Vegas. That's why they're both in Vegas. That's why he was at RNC.
I mean, that guy's a straight up a beauty pageant owner.
He's a pimp.
You know, he's running around with guys. He himself is running around.
He's running around with Epstein. He's running around with Epstein and Clinton. At Clinton.
That pimp, the yacht that was like busted and shit. He was hanging out. All these people are really dirty.
Let me tell you something. We have the TV right here. We're watching part of Trump's speech in Pennsylvania. He's in Pennsylvania. He's in Erie, Pennsylvania, and then he went around Hershey. I don't know if he did, but it's funny because he was talking about opening up plants and whatever. Why don't they close down that plant in Pennsylvania? What was it? That plant? What was it? 3 Mile?
3 Mile.
3 Mile Island?
Yeah.
Right. I'm telling you, Trump is nothing but a Jesuit plant for the Democrats, and he's going to fall on his face and let Hillary Clinton put him in a figure 4. That's what's going to happen, and he's going to tap out. Okay, but at the end of the day, I mean, Hillary Clinton, I don't know if you noticed, but we got this article up on Exposed News, alternative.wordpress.com. And if you go to Exposed News on YouTube, we have this article where we uncovered that a handler of Hillary Clinton, she's got like a medic right there by her side, like freaking Hitler had Morel, with an auto-injector of diazepam, which is like an anti-seizure drug. So, I mean, Hillary's health is an absolute shambles. Shambles. But we know that she's a Jesuit as well, with freaking Janet Reno and Bill. They're all that Jesuit network or whatever. The Waco, all that, right? All those psyops. These are the same killers that are on your TV today. And I'm telling you, the Jesuits have everything orchestrated because her running partner for vice president, Tim Kaine, he's a Jesuit educated. So they only put these guys that are Jesuit trained in the freaking driver's seat or riding shotgun to potentially run the country. And these are Jesuits that are to be given the launch codes to start a thermonuclear war. Those are the only people that are in the driver's seat to have those launch codes are Jesuit trained people.
I don't know. For Jesuits, yes, but they're not the ones with the launch codes. That's just they just say that, I mean, the Pentagon has the launch
And who runs
codes.
the Pentagon? People that look like Michael Phelps, okay? That people people that have that hood on and have a meaner face than that. Yeah, Karl Rove. And
Donald Rumsfeld.
And even Karl Rove is proving that he's fat Satan because he's all for Hillary and he's scolding Trump. You can go on Exposed News. Is that Fat Satan scolds Trump? Mm-hmm. And we have that up there. Mm-hmm. We have Karl Rove, exactly who you mentioned, Satan himself, chubby Satan. Mm-hmm. Again, if he says it, then it's literally like gospel. Okay, he's saying that Trump's not going to win. He's saying that he's scolding him. He's basically on Hillary's side. He's a never-Trumper. He got a top Fox News Republican. He basically was president. I mean, George W. Bush was just playing his Game Boy. while Dick Cheney and Rove ran the entire stinking show.
Yeah. Well, they're just villains, you know. They're like the superhero.
Super villains. They're like the Legion of Doom.
Well,
You're right.
Well, the Legion of Doom. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Lex Luthor.
Well, when
Trump's in there.
When you think about the King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, it's kind of like a postmodern version of that, you know. So what you
Not the ones from Monty Python, right?
No,
the Knights of the Round Table.
That would be funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's kind of like a mockery on these people. But there are about 12, 13 people. I mean, I think there is a council of 13 or something.
Oh, absolutely. But in the end, it's just verbal poo-poo, right? We're just spewing verbal poo-poo according to fucking Looney Tunes like Nancy Pelosi. You hear, apparently, I'm almost certain that Trump has hired WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, to work for him to uncover all this dirt on the Democrats. And then you have all these staffers. There's Lucas and there's Rich that were killed and this other guy that's killed. And, you know, it's all happening while Assange is saying that these guys were feeding him like Watergate-style leaks. You know what I mean? I mean, people are dropping dead around the Democrats. It is downright scary. I'm almost certain that Karl Rove is running Hillary Clinton's presidency right now. Future presidency.
Well, you know, like I said, it's kind of like a predestined, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that.
You know,
anyway, keep going.
It's already in the cards, in the works. It's been there for a while. It was like meant to be. Hillary is just meant to be. It's just part of it, you know. Don't you fucking see? What do you not see? You know what I'm saying? You got.
I like your soliloquy. Anyway, keep going.
You know, you got. You figured that out back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When you have George Bush, and then the kids, and then even the fucking and even fucking Jeb Bush around. I mean, that guy's like autistic as shit. You know, like.
Yeah, but Hillary's satanically possessed. I think she's possessed. I think that, I mean, besides having that guy with the auto-injector of diazepam, there's going to be a Jesuit priest with her all the time with, like, the Rituale Romanum. The power of Mithra compels you. The power of Mithra compels you. That's what's next for this woman.
Bruce.
She is insane.
Bruce.
People are dying.
Bruce, she's not making any decisions. It's what she's just holding. What it is this. Like her daughter said. My mother should be crowned president. All she's doing is
and blood is spilled for the monarchy, folks.
Right. This is same.
They have to crack a couple of DNC eggs to make their democratic omelet.
Exactly. It's just an illusion that we're not in a monarch. And Hillary is cousins with Bush. They're all fucking related. She's probably related to Bill, and you know that's why she didn't have. That's why Chelsea's father is Hubble and not
Webster
Bill.
Hubble. That is a bombshell exposed. You hear that right here on this show, folks. The Bruce Montalvo show. Yeah, I mean Trump has one. They all have retarded kids, but like we were saying earlier, now they have genetically modified super babies, and they have all this research, and who could afford it? They live reptilians,
well, they have
like Donald Trump. Why else do you think that Donald Trump is still alive today? I mean, that guy looks like a freaking frog from the Cretaceous period. He looks older than John McCain, who's still governing since the Triassic period, folks. I'm almost certain that John McCain's a reptilian. Because I'm driving around Arizona.
Has like 3 hearts.
I'm driving around Arizona and I see McCain freaking campaign ads still. That fossil, this old piece of scum is still campaigning. This totalitarian bastard still campaigning. And I look at the logo and it strikes me as this little pre-Columbian facade. The aesthetics are literally those of Quetzalcoatl, but it's sublime. All it has is the stars and stripes and the logo, but it literally looks like a pre-Columbian serpent to the trained eye like mine.
Yeah.
So who's McCain telling you that he has his allegiance for? The American people or Sumerian freaking trickster guys that probably run the Pentagon?
Yeah, right, exactly. Or just the hypothetical, Sumerian trickster gods, because they're all trickster people in power. And this guy is, you know what? John McCain looks better to me for his age than Donald Trump.
That's
Donald
another
Trump
one of the
is-
guys that are using the genetically modified freaking HGH, the CRISPR, all this stuff. I mean, they're literally sucking freaking fetuses like Christopher Reeves.
Maybe that's why
from South Park.
George Bush Sr. is still alive. Or what about Dick Cheney? He doesn't even have a heart. They just
No, that guy's had like 9 heart transplants.
He doesn't have a heart.
His heart probably looks like RoboCop now.
Yes, that's what it is. It's like a pacemaker that's like electric pacemaker. I don't know. He's got something. You look it up. He does not have a heart. Now, I don't think Donald Trump looks good for his age. I think he's aging rapidly. I just saw him on TV. He looked like he's going to be in a wheelchair soon. You know what I'm saying?
You see how the Simpsons trolled Trump? It's the funniest. They literally had like a crew of like gay Filipino hairdressers come in and like give Donald Trump bigger hands, and then they put a dog on his head, and that was like his hair, and they like sprayed tanned him, and it took like 9 hours for them to get this whole procedure done just so that he could like get up and be Donald Trump. It was hysterical. But I literally think that Trump has hired Julian Assange because he's behind. They're saying he's behind in points. I mean, he's going to crash and burn now. That's why he's gone to the newly formed Fifth Estate, just like in the movie with Julian Assange, the Fifth Estate. I mean, that's telling because they've gone from the Fourth Estate to now being the Fifth Estate, just like in the movie, where they have this press that was before shunned. I mean, you see what happened to Chelsea Manning? First he was Bradley Manning, right? And who profiteered from that video that made the government establishment cut off Chelsea Manning's freaking privates? Julian Assange did. And then Julian Assange tried to curtail freedom of speech, internet freedom of speech in Belarus. He was over there with operatives. Nobody talks about that. And then if you look at the Illuminati card game, Julian Assange is in there. Some type of agent. So, they're running around, they're saying Snowden's dead, or he's not dead, or he wants to work with his old NSA partners. I mean, I don't know if that's a hoax or whatnot, but to me, it's all a bunch of sensationalism now by the newly formed Fifth Estate. Government agents, CIA agents like Assange, NSA agents like Snowden, all these guys are being glamorized as patriots when they're really a bunch of scum.
Right.
Scum.
Yeah.
It's plain as day. And what is the Fifth Estate? Many of you just think it's a movie, but I have the definition here. Socio-cultural reference to groupings, viewpoints of contemporary society. So that's what it is. I mean, WikiLeaks is on the internet. It become the social media. Now the social media is generating news stories. And with the government literally getting rid of the Smith-Mundt Act, the Fifth Estate is allowed to flourish. People like Julian Assange are allowed to flourish and create propaganda. I mean, it's a psyop within itself.
I mean, that guy is like the whitest guy with like the snowiest, like, he's like Father Snow. I mean, what is this person?
It's like Kronos.
Yeah, what the fuck is this person? It's just like, he's a psyop. Snowden's a psyoper. These people are not real. Okay, there's no one that's leaking real documents that's not getting in trouble. There's no one that's not part of the NSA or part of Big Brother that's not, that they're not freaking faking it for. I mean...
Yeah, they got this guy in, like, embassies living like a king. I mean, when it really, they're trying to make him seem like he's, like, in his mama's basement and he's a hero hacker or, a freak. But really, he's an agent. He's an operative.
Yes, he's a double agent diplomat. And he's got diplomatic immunity. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Yeah, they're just helping cover up all these killings that are around the DNC, these mysterious killings. You have Sean Lucas here, Seth Rich. I mean, many DNC staffers. I mean, you have Assange stating that Seth Rich was the one giving him info on the DNC. I mean, and you see these people are now dead.
Wow. Speaking of Seth, So Seth Rogen's having a new movie called Dick Fat Party or something. Sausage Party, right?
What?
Penis Party.
Well, there's a bunch of fruitcakes in that movie, that's for sure. You got that Franco and that Rudd. And they're all a bunch of fruitcakes.
So the sausages, so they're going to have the Mexican one's going to be a chorizo, right?
Chorizo? Actually, I think Salma Hayek is doing the voice for that one. She really needs to go to hell. So they should really deport her. She's terrible.
Doesn't your father have a crush on her?
My Vata. I don't know what he has a crush on. You know, my father's the type of guy that would fuck your baby's mama.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you don't want to have even like a broomstick with a skirt walk by that man.
Yeah, I've heard about him. I don't know. Poor Bruce.
Anyway, folks, that's right. Poor Bruce. And if you want to help Bruce be a very rich Bruce, you go to espymall.com because you care about the safety of your home, you care about the safety of your business, then you should care to have it with the most adequate surveillance on the market. And you could find that at espymall.com. You can get a great discount with my friends over at espymall.com when you use coupon code BruceNY. So use BruceNY at espymall.com and you'll save 10% on all the best in the CCTV surveillance systems market.
Right, because you want to like spy on your babysitter and whatever, like you cheat.
Or you want to expose somebody. If you want to expose somebody, you want to do like a interview with somebody. You got a freaking spy pen. You don't need the feds to get wired up and expose people. So you could also do that at espymall.com. Use coupon code BruceNY.
But they also have those like pens that you can go into if you need to sneak into the courtroom to actually obtain a recording of a trial or some kind of a hearing. Yeah, that sounded pretty cool. I would have liked to have that when I was handling my case pro se in the Second Circuit in federal court in New York, because literally the fucking judge straight up said, I already know what I'm going to rule. And he said that 3 times, but got it scratched from the record.
Well, didn't this judge work for the Bushes?
Yeah, or something. No, well, I mean, indirectly, but he was hired by the Bushes. Actually, he was nominated, but he actually worked for the person I was suing. He was their official lawyer years ago, but didn't recuse himself. I tell you, it's just a bunch of, going to court. It's a dog and pony show. I don't know. They robbed me so bad, Bruce, but there was no way they were going to have me be the victor. There was no way.
There's no way you could go up against this Masonic fraternal order that consists of lawyers, cops, and judges, all of them that together consolidate for a matrix of power. And if you want to go and check out my interview with Jordan Maxwell that I did regarding the esoteric symbolism of Saturn, folks, which is what these Illuminatists worship at their core, go to Expose News and you'll find that video that I'm referring to. So, Matrix of Power, Saturn symbolism exposed. I mean, the Saturn symbolism is literally everywhere. I mean, on Nike.
And what about the Olympics?
In the Olympics. It's all over the Olympics. I want to get back to that. I mean, they have a giant pentagram at the Olympics. They're literally doing the Olympics at a geolocation that is shaped like a Eye of Horus with a little snake going through it. I mean, it is weird. It is weird. It doesn't get any more weird than when they did the opening ceremony and it looked like a giant orgasming vagina. Like freaking orgasming a bunch of fireworks.
Wow.
And then the whole thing was some type of homage to climate change. And the director for the Olympics, or one of the big shots, came out and said that everybody's equal. I mean, the whole facade of the Olympics is that people are more exceptional at certain sports than others. So why are they going out with this one world order freaking draconian agenda now it's trying to say, oh, we're all equal? That's almost like this article that you talked to me about earlier in the day with freaking Kanye West being all over the art world. I mean, we're all equal, really? I mean, they got Kanye West now, people like this all over the art world to do one specific thing, and that is to destroy individualism, to destroy real artists. I mean, you hear Jaja here talking about her trials and tribulations, having fought for her intellectual property in a court of law against these freaking Freemasonic judges and lawyers. And that's what it comes down to in the end. People like Kanye West being elevated by art magazines that have no business elevating scum like this. Because, I mean, the guy is a fashion star, really. I mean, those glasses are the stupidest glasses I've ever seen. You can't even see out of those things.
Right.
So, like I said,
this
whole agenda, whether it's the Olympics or whether it's Kanye and art, it's all to do one thing, to destroy individual artists. I mean, you have people like Paul Stanley doing radio interviews talking about how they steal from freaking artists, and it's a big freaking hubbubaloo, ha ha ha, ho ho ho, he he he.
Yeah. And he said he was
no biggie.
stolen from, right?
Oh, yeah, they stole from KISS. Meanwhile, KISS has the entire freaking military-industrial complex behind these rednecks, pieces of shit that are pretending to be Jews, but are really some type of Michelin freaking Lebensborn, probably.
Oh, yeah, just like Mickey Hart. That guy, he looks exactly like one of Hitler's butlers or some shit like that.
One of Hitler's freaking pedicures.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, Bruce, I wanted to just talk about the Olympics for a second.
Good.
Speaking of, Michael Phelps used some Chinese technique for what? I mean, is that like pain? But what happened here is that
the Jesuits are in China.
Yeah, okay, but their Chinese swimmer tests positive for a banned substance. That it's a diuretic. I
was watching them do that 200-mile freaking butterfly, and I don't know, some guy from Uzbekistan. No, that's the guy that got knocked out in boxing. Some guy from Iran was like right on his tail, and then I did like the photo finish. Like I kind of slowed it down. I mean, he beat him, but it was very close.
Yeah.
I don't know if these freaking Olympics are rigged for this Nazi. Even I mean, he's already a genetically engineered super baby. Probably with this whole CRISPR freaking technology.
But like his legs are really shorter than out of proportion. And,
does that give him some type of advantage?
Yes, it would give him a swimming advantage, especially with the breaststroke and the like a fish. You know what I'm saying? Like think about a fish. They got a lot of body and a little tail. You know what I'm saying? That's what keeps them moving. So I mean, you saw the girls that had those like mermaid skirts on when they're swimming. They go really fast. So, like, if you have less leg, and, like, more power on the upper body, and you're built that way, then you're going to be naturally born. And you know what? This guy didn't even have an inclination to swim. It was his mother that told him to swim when he was 7. I mean, when I was 7, I was like, yo, I want to swim. You know what I'm saying? I was swimming. I got my lifeguard. My life.
Well, he was extremely hyper. He had like ADHD, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that could be a component of being a genetically engineered super baby. Yeah. He came with too much ADHD.
Yeah, right.
That's how some libtard classified him as, but they didn't know that he was part of this Nazi breathing program.
But don't you find it funny that the Chinese swimmers are not using their Chinese techniques for their relief?
You know what I find it funny? I find it funny that Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, is only good during the Olympics, but at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks, he sucks. I find that funny. I find it funny that there's even basketball in the Olympics because, I mean, really? Could anybody really compete with, like, all these freaking freaks of nature that we have here at the National Black freaking Basketball League?
No.
They're just as racist as that blackpeople.com dating site or this college that now wants only black freaking people in their courses. I mean, black-only courses. I mean, it's getting bad. But that's one thing I don't get. I don't get why these people shine in the Olympics, but then when we are in New York, I mean, I see the New York Post. Carmelo Anthony stinks. He sucks. The Knicks and Madison Square Garden is one giant toilet. I mean, we could smell it all the way from Brooklyn. It stinks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that we didn't live real fancy. I mean, what are some type of wines that we have on the regular, right? We have the Argentinian, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Loca Linda, that was a good wine right there, right? And, eating,
Merlot,
brie cheese, and
Greenville.
I mean, we live a real freaking nouveau riche kind of lifestyle, but not really. Without smelling like ass, like those people, because those people smell like ass. They look like they would like to suck a fart right out of somebody's ass and like just smell it so that it doesn't harm the environment. One of those tree huggers, but not like that. I mean, we're classy people, though. I mean, we have wine and freaking steak on the regular that I grill. That's fantastic, and we really live well.
Well, we tried, but we worked so hard. I mean, today.
And that's the thing. It's the best revenge.
Today we worked 8 hours. We made the most gorgeous bracelets with copper and sterling, and we made them for women and for men, like big cuffs. I found old sterling from about 100 years ago, and I forged it into the copper cuffs, and so it's really cool, man. I mean, some of them look like industrial, and some look like cowgirl, and some look like just Baroque, and some are even like gladiator style. So they're really fantastic and kind of rustic looking. You can find our jewelry at etsy.com/shop/antique obsessions, or the other one is etsy.com conceptual subculture. So, I mean, you could go to Etsy, just type in conceptual subculture, one word, or antique obsessions with an S, and it'll link you to each other, and you'll see us. So, yeah, we've been producing. Finally, we've gotten back. The whole move was really cost us a lot, but, we needed to get out of New York, man. It was so disgusting. It was really, really damaging. I feel so much healthier here.
Well, that's the thing. You see, Trump goes around in places like Pennsylvania and talks about opening up plants, but he says nothing about a plant that's killing Americans there, like 3 Mile Island, that already has a long and strenuous reputation of killing Americans. And nobody's saying anything about Indian Point, except us on this program.
And I think that Hillary herself is sick from this, because her home was 15 miles away. 15 miles away from this plant. Okay? So she's getting... I already said before, I had a friend that died. He was a doctor. He died from that shit, prostate cancer, and he lived like 20 miles from the plant. She lives 15. You can get your metabolic rate, thyroid will get messed up. You will get the coughing, your lungs can get diseased.
So that she's too sick to go to jail and be in freaking Orange.
She's sick.
So what they're doing, I'll tell you what they're doing, the government's doing for Hillary Clinton. They're literally sparing her the humiliation. because I bet those emails contain nothing but XXX rated freaking material between the two of them. So they're sparing her the humiliation.
When can I lick you? I don't know. I'm trying to get away.
Wait till Bill goes to sleep. He's still up jacking off the BBW porn.
Jacking off? I don't even think he can use his dick.
Trust me. He's used his dick on many, many people. He is a rapist. He is the picture perfect dictionary definition of rape. If you look up rape in Webster's, I'm pretty sure that now, if it's a 2016 edition, it's got a picture of Bill freaking Clinton.
Okay, I'm going to be straight. Bill was a pretty good-looking president when he was. Okay, and just looking at, his age, he's okay. He's still a pretty handsome-looking old man. Now, that being said... Are you kidding me? He looks like death! That being said, for how old is he, 90? So, that being said, okay, I'm sure women threw themselves at him. Okay? So, I can't imagine that a guy like Bill is a rapist.
You think he looks good? Literally, people are saying that he's got Alzheimer's, that he's got Parkinson's, and he looks like he's dying.
I didn't say now. I'm talking about... He looks like... What is David Hasselhoff? He looks just like that guy. He looks like his cousin. He's a handsome...
Could you imagine that?
Hillary was beautiful.
If you're some, big-breasted bimbo and you just, pass out on the beach, and you have Bill Clinton right there as a lifeguard, he'll go right up to this chick.
Okay, didn't Beyonce...
I thought I'd try to resuscitate you.
Didn't Beyonce try to come on to Obama. So, I mean...
we think that was some French frou-frou, some fruitcake that just made that thing up. But what you can't make up is the fact that Bill literally looks like he has Alzheimer's. He looks like freaking, like Bela Lugosi.
They're very old, okay? But when in their prime, he was handsome and she was beautiful. And the fact is that... I still find it very hard. Even though I listen to these stories, but I still think that there's so many star fuckers out there, Bruce. They will do anything to get money, fame, power, respect.
Yeah, and that's Hillary Clinton, who is obsessed with money, and you say that she looked good in her past.
I'm trying to say that I don't believe a lot of these women were raped. I think they threw themselves at him. Okay, and they didn't get what he wanted, what he promised them.
Well, he's got a reputation of biting lips and going after women and being an extreme rapist. I mean, what are you, a communist to deny that? I mean, they are insane. And Hillary Clinton, right here, I have an article right here that states that Hillary gained 103 pounds, and that's quite...
She doesn't look 103 pounds over that weight. That's a lie. That's got to be a fake. If anything, she looks about 70 pounds.
Yes. She looks like a big, fat freaking torta. It's quite evident right here. It's clearly evident that she's gained about 103 pounds.
No. That would make her 240 or 220. She's not 220. She looks like 180, but I don't know how tall she is. So, whatever. I don't know.
She's eating good. She's murdering DNC staffers. She's eating good, right? I mean...
Yeah, she's murdering it. Yeah, I'd like to see that. Listen, this lady is playing a part.
Secret Agent Hillary.
Do you remember that?
Whacking people
out. Remember that American Horror Story? You know, that whole show?
She's got a high body count on her. She's got a lot of blood on her.
All those girls were cousins, Stevie Nick. All of them, they said they were part of the tribe. All of them we figured out to be cousins anyway. You know? So, I mean, they're actors. They're actresses.
They're a bunch of draconians. And I tell you what, they were considering reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule I drug, which literally puts it on the same level as LSD and heroin, which is a complete fallacy. And they didn't, folks. They didn't. It's still a Schedule I drug, right? So what I find funny is that while they are restricting your right to puff the magic dragon, you have Barack Obama's freaking kid puffing the magic dragon and twerking her little ass off, and you don't say anything, right? That you just sit on your ass. You let them take your guns. You let them SWAT team you over a joint, and it's all good, right here. Malia Obama drug scandal. Barack's wild child caught puffing pot. It's on a very reliable source, the National Enquirer, and that's just funny, folks. It's just funny because that communist Barack Obama was puffing on pot himself and admittedly was doing lines of cane off of freaking gay strippers' asses, more than likely. And this cocksucker, basketball dribbler, and chief is literally putting his own black people in jail if they have a freaking ounce of weed in certain places in the United Fascist States of America. Meanwhile, his wild child is off probably puffing a freaking cocaine-laced freaking joint. Just like he did. And, you know, if Barack would have been busted, he wouldn't have been president today. Under his own laws, under his own draconian laws that, of course, are enforced from the Bush administration. And that's why he gets the idea to blame everything on the Bush establishment and the Republicans, because they got the worst track record on liberty, folks. I mean, that's proven. And the Democrats are just a continuation of that. And that's why it doesn't matter whether you vote Republican or Democrat. It's still the same fascists' feet on your neck. Literally. I mean, now... You if you smoke weed, it's a level Schedule I drug still. still. So who knows, folks? I mean, it'll probably be on the main ballot. Who knows what the oligarchs have in mind? They could very well have some type of genetically engineered super cannabis, like freaking Cheech and Nice Dreams, right? They had a super weed and super coke. Who knows? It's not going to be super, though, folks. It's going to freaking super kill you, more than likely, because the government's involved in it, and they're involved in the business of whacking you. I mean, that's what it is. And with that, we've come to my top 10 list. That's right, folks. And that was it, actually. That was number 10, Malia Obama drug scandal, the whole weed thing going around. I don't like to call it weed. I like to call it cannabis. Well, you're going to call it what it's truly called, folks?
Chiba, man.
Tetrahydrocannabinol.
Call it more Chiba. And if you want to hear the hottest legalized weed song, go to iTunes and look up Jaja More Chiba.
Yes.
And support me and buy my song, please. It's very hot. Or just listen to it on YouTube and enjoy it with a video. Jaja and More Chiba.
Right. And they could also enjoy my top 10 list that I didn't steal from David Letterman. And we kicked it off with the Malia Obama drug scandal. You heard about that? You heard about her twerking and tweaking and smoking weed?
You just said it.
I just said it, right. Well, what do you make of this? A report on anti-Semitism rising in the University of Tennessee. Didn't we drive by Tennessee and pick up like a cookbook where it had like squirrel stew and
rabbit fricassee
and raccoon truffle
fried
cake.
frog soup or something.
Oh my God.
Frog pie and
right, and then we stopped by, and not that this is a bad thing, but it said American owned and operated.
Oh yeah,
like trying to imply that they don't have any Arabs or any Mexicans.
No Indians, but
it's just a bunch of guys that you wouldn't trust around your sister because they're probably fucking. Right, good old American.
Yeah,
boy.
they look like some people that you would see at a white cake.
So that's not hard to understand because you were telling me let's get the hell out of here when we were driving through Tennessee because they got all these Jesuit churches everywhere.
Yeah, there was like a church every block.
They had a couple of synagogues, but still, this report here, it's on Fox News, Fuckhead News, is stating that anti-Semitism is on the rise. Of course it's on the rise. It's always on the rise. It's trendy to kill Jews. But it's so trendy that even Jews who say they're Jews that are not Jews, they're actually part of the synagogue of Saturn, and are probably related to Amalekian freaking German Bavarians. They just say they're Jews so that they can hide in today's Fourth Reich.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that like to...
Because people don't like Nazis.
Okay, yes.
People are disgusted by Nazis. Yes. You tell them about Nazis, they get repelled.
Yeah, well, they'll take the most Jewish... They'll take the most Jewish-looking people, like Barbara Streisand or Ben Midler.
I think Jerry Seinfeld. They make Jews look out to be either weaklings or cowards or backstabbers.
Or
pedos.
They're commemorating.
It's funny you said Robin Williams because it's actually been the anniversary since they apparently killed him. I don't know, to tell you the truth, I know we said that they blood sacrificed him. I mean, we ran with that, but I don't know. I mean, he could have faked his death.
Yeah, he could have faked.
I don't trust these Germans. They're infamous for like faking papers and deaths and forging all sorts of papers.
Yeah, it's true. He got tired of the business, he was tired of stealing from Lenny Schultz.
Anyway, that was number 9, right? That's a good friend, Lenny Schultz, over there. And here we have number 8. Can you believe that guy that was responsible, one of the patsies for the Iran-Contra, Ollie North? That guy, he's running around.
Alive?
He's still around. And he's saying, he's actually joined the Trump campaign. He's saying that ISIS would not exist if it wasn't for Obama's administrations or bad decisions. I thought ISIS was Osiris's wife, and she wouldn't exist if they hadn't landed here in some spaceship in ancient Sumeria. Mm-hmm. I mean, what is he talking about? ISIS would not exist. I mean, that's partly true, though. I mean, let's give the shield credit where credit is due. I mean, he was behind the whole Rex 84 continuity of government thing that's still going on today. That's what the Nazis are fighting for in America, this civil war, constant civil war and uprising.
Yeah, they want people to hate the blacks. They want people to hate the Jews. They want everybody to hate the Muslims and the
well, what better than the Obama administration?
And the Mexicans and anything. So, I mean, anything that is not the blonde hair, the blue eyes, and even the ones that aren't blonde hair, because Hitler did not have blonde hair. And he had brown hair. And there's a lot of relatives of these. And he was a Rothschild, wasn't he? A Rothschild?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's related to the Saxe-Coburgs, all of them.
And
they're
the
all,
Rothschilds,
and the Rothschilds, right?
Right. So the Rothschilds were not Jewish, and they're just like you said. They hide these people. They say that they're Jewish, even if they'll even be brought up in a Jewish home, but they'll choose them because their bloodline looked kind of Jewish, and because the Nazis still today, and they did then run Hollywood, they like to characterize and kind of use the look. They like to make fun of Jews and Mexicans and blacks. So, I mean, of course they're going to use...
While running their countries. I mean, they went and they got exiled from Nazi Germany to Argentina. They got exiled there. They were in the Andes Mountains. J. Edgar Hoover had all the documents. He knew that Hitler faked his death. They kept quiet. The FBI allowed Hitler to do it. And not just Hitler, but all of the top freaking Nazis were allowed to escape via the Nazi sympathizers that primarily consists of the Vatican.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you see it. I mean, all the dopes, all the popes, they have the Iron Cross on them. It's the same Iron Cross that Hitler had. You see it. They're part of the clique. I mean, Hitler's SS was patented from the Jesuits. You have this Jesuit Pope that's running wild. Literally, I mean, he's a moron, though. He's a real idiot. I mean, he's always falling on his ass, or his little yarmulke's falling off out of his head. Cracking his ass in Krakow, Poland, like the big hypocrite, because, I mean, literally was the Nazis returning to the scene of the crime there.
Pretty much so. But yeah, so the Nazis run everything, you know, they run Hollywood. That's why your friend George Lopez, you know, who looks like fucking Bangladesh.
That's why he's the only Mexican on TV. You're right, because he's probably part Nazi. Anyway, folks, we were talking about Nazis because I just mentioned the quote. Oh, please.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, the big famous Mexican.
Yeah. And that was blood in, blood out. That's my homie.
Yeah,
so just know how to keep your mouth shut, candy ass. Anyway, folks, I was talking about another candy ass here. Ollie North, who is being promoted by Hannity. Speak of candy asses, I mean, that guy is just a bumbling idiot, Hannity. I haven't heard anybody so remedial in my life.
Besides Glenn Beck, but Glenn Beck is so.
At least he's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's like neurotic. He puts like cornflakes on his face.
Yeah, like he doesn't take himself serious. Like he knows he's not that smart, and he doesn't try to be that smart. But Sean, he takes himself so serious, and he is just so proud of it, so braggadocious, you know. And it's fine if you're Rush Limbaugh, you could be braggadocious, but you know, this guy is.
What about Ice-T? Let's go to my top 10 list here, number 7. Yeah, Ice-T's pretty braggadocious when it comes to guns.
He's allowed to be.
He's talking about guns all over again. I guess he remembers his old self from the movie
Police.
Johnny Mnemonic. He's getting down with his low-tech self all over again, and he's talking about guns are the last form of defense against tyranny.
Yeah, well, that's good, because he did first have his song with Body Count against police, you know.
Yeah, but you know, that was before this movement of these scumbags that literally want to hurt police. I mean, police back in the day, they were aggressive against the minorities. They were singling them out. That was more then than it is now. I mean, you have a black president now. Things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now if you look at the statistics, more white people are being harassed by police.
Yeah.
And that's just the brass tacks. That's the facts, folks.
Well, I mean, I think this country has had a lot of prejudice to get over. So, I mean,
but I think it's cool. I think it's cool that Ice-T is coming out and saying, "Hey, yo, guns are the last form of defense against tyranny." That is a true statement. I think he deserves his freaking big expensive mansion over at Laurel Canyon.
mm-hmm.
He's got like the biggest house on Cribs. I remember when I was watching Cribs, he had like the baddest house.
Well, he works hard.
Imagine how many guns he probably has there.
Yeah. So what was happening with Coco? She cheated on him. What the fuck was that? Now he's back with her. What's up?
I don't know. I'm not TMZ. Anyway, folks, that was number 7. Number 7 here. How about number 6? Hillary strategist Bob Beckel talking about Julian Assange getting assassinated. And that's the thing. They're making a big deal about Trump and his comments. Oh, the Second Amendment, people have something to say about that. Well, he didn't even say or imply anything about people taking out Hillary. But Hillary did imply and say herself that the only reason she remained in the 2008 presidential campaign, when it was her versus Barry, was because of the slight possibility that someone would assassinate Barack. Remember that whole thing about assassinating him because he was like the first black guy to run for president? So she can go out and say that they're going to kill another guy. Literally say it. I heard her say it. But Trump can't elude that the Second Amendment people who she's always on their ass. Because let's get this straight, folks. Hillary Clinton likes guns. She makes a lot of money selling them. She's a good spokeswoman, spokes-lesbo for the military-industrial complex. But just because she likes selling guns doesn't mean she wants to sell them to you. She wants to disarm you. She wants to disarm me. She wants to have you in a state like 1984. That's why in 1984 she was giving speeches congratulating people who were for globalism. And from Time magazine. It goes back. And she even admitted that 1984 was her favorite book. So that's what she wants. And that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. You can forget about Trump winning. It is a complete and total fallacy. It's a farce. This guy's not going to win. And that doesn't make me some type of leftist libtard. I'm awake. I'm zen. I don't believe any of the right-wing establishment, fake right-wing shit. And I don't trust the freaking libertarians. I have literally become apolitical. And I'm not even a criminal. I just am tired of their crap!
Yes. Yeah. I stopped buying into it a minute ago, Bruce. But, you know,
I just want to knock the New World Order out, just like that freaking Britain guy in the Olympics, Buatsi, who pounded his opponent's face. That's what I'd like to do to the New World Order, but I'm just one ant. I'm just one voice. What we need is a coalition of ants, and then together we can be a paper cut. That's as much as you could be. Maybe you could put some lime on it.
You want to know the truth? I'm just so happy to live on this planet and be able to be an artist that I can't really...
That's number 5, the knockout.
I really can't let it stress me out like you do.
That Olympic knockout. I'm not stressed out. I'm fine. I have thousands of people who are subscribed to the Montalvo Nation Now Exposed News on YouTube. I mean, it's growing exponentially. I'm not just in it to bash Hillary Clinton. I mean, I truly care. But I'm not going to let it kill me. Like I said earlier, we live very well. I have my fine wines with you and my fine steak dinners.
You're making it sound like, I mean, we freaking live hand to mouth. What are you talking
about?
I
work hard. And we are part of the old American traditional ways that made America great. Okay, mom and pop jewelry shop that makes things and doesn't take things. We don't take things.
Right. I mean,
we don't take anything.
I understand. You live so much better than living in the yard.
And that's the thing. Living well is the best revenge, and it doesn't matter where I lived before. I lived for everybody that supports the Bruce Montalvo Show, that listens, that's listening on TalkStreamLive. That's what I live for. While they live because they want to see all lives obliterated. I mean, you saw it on the freaking on that thing on the eugenics tablets that say that they want you under 500 million.
You know, some people are
the
useless.
Georgia Guidestones.
Some people are useless.
Useless eaters.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not a remote viewer, I guess you're a useless eater.
If you're not a producer.
Or a producer, right. Or if you can't swim, like we have this next top 10 list right here, number 5. If you can't swim the butterfly, the 200 butterfly here, where Phelps won. I mean, this guy is literally a Jesuit. He's got like, the only thing he's missing is red eyes when he had that Phelps face. The guy looked so angry. He looked like a freaking sorcerer or a demon. You see, he's probably doing some type of water magic here. You know what the magic is? The magic is that they can now create genetically modified super babies in the womb. And that's what this guy was. He was bred by the Nazis to do this, to star in the Olympics as propaganda. This is propaganda, folks. Propaganda of its highest. And besides watching that Bouatsi from Great Britain knock that guy from Uzbekistan out, and some of the swimming and the Phelps face, that's as exciting as the Olympics got. It was a stinker, folks. It was a stinker. The opening of the Olympics looked like a woman's opening, like an opening. You know what I'm saying? Looked like a freaking vagina. And what else? There was a giant triangular UFO that we even spotted. Nobody talked about that. How come nobody's talking about the paranormal in Brazil? They're just talking about all the trannies and all the disgusting freaking sex that's going on in the Olympics. They're not talking about the UFOs.
Because Brazil is associated with sex. And that's the first thing that goes into their mind. When I came back from Brazil, it was like, I hate to say it, but a lot of black guys that was just my friends, they would be like, oh, you went to Brazil? Like, they seem to be more excited than, like, white guys, or even Latino guys. They were sort of, but, you just talk, in general, like, they go
out there for the Brazilian booty.
Yeah, the black men would just get a biggest fun.
But nowadays, you don't even know if that's really some booty you're getting or some dude's booty.
Yeah.
Bad.
These girls, I read so much shit about them, they're just like, might as well, they're going to be fucking like 30, 40 people a day. They're like...
Well, that's why they gave the Olympians 45 condoms.
Oof.
Like, on their first arrival. He's like, here's 45 condoms.
Yeah, right. Maybe...
they're dirtier than Dennis Rodman's dick, who he says has broken his dick like 3 times.
Maybe. See,
that makes the news.
You think people... Kim Jong-il?
You mean Kim Jong-un?
You think Kim Jong-un, sorry.
Look, that makes the news. Dennis Rodman breaking his dick 3 times makes the news, but the mother who lost her son in Benghazi thanks to Hillary Clinton barely makes a spidget.
I wrote a song called Benghazi. You can hear it on iTunes, and Bruce did, and I did a video. You can check it out, Benghazi and Jaja. You'll see it. I definitely lift a lot of skirts up with that one.
Yeah, you definitely do. There's a lot of truth that's suggested there, just like what I suggested earlier, folks, that Hillary had suggested Obama's assassination back when she was running in 2008, but the media is only blasting Trump. Because, again, Trump is working for her. He's a DNC plant. Trump, that's why he's always wearing freaking blue. And Vince McMahon is paying for everything Trump does. He pays for his sandwiches. He pays for everything. Everything. Yeah, in 2008, Hillary Clinton cited possible assassination of Barack Obama as the reason why she was staying in the presidential race despite falling far behind, a comment the media is ignoring. Right. I'm telling you, folks, it's clear as day now. This media hype, they're hyping up anything Trump does. If Trump freaking farts on a baby at Bohemian Grove, that's like the biggest news. While Hillary could literally eat a a baby in like freaking gold foil, like they do in Thailand or whatever, these Satanists, and nobody would say anything. Literally, Hillary could eat a baby on live TV and they wouldn't say a damn thing. She's killing DNC staffers now, her and the machine that's behind her. But this is the same machine. This is the same machine that's behind Donald Trump, that's behind any agent of government. They're all agents of chaos.
Yeah, and just watch some of that extra fear that they pour onto the Hillary campaign. It's basically going to be business as usual. You're not even going to know the difference whether she's president or not. It's just a fear-mongering campaign right now.
Speaking from fear-mongering to war-mongering, let's talk local here. Let's talk about insane McCain. This insane old buzzard. The reptilian, he's like, bleh, bleh, with his tongue sticking out. McCain. You know, why is he even allowed to be like a so-called conservative? I mean, this guy has a tremendous anti-gun pass.
Isn't he at 5150?
And yes. Yeah, they were giving him the freaking Chinese water torture in Vietnam, probably. Look at this. In the new National Association of Gun Rights, that freaking NRA or whatever, they're talking about exposing McCain's anti-gun past. You see, every time that he voted against guns or for gun control, so you have this old 1,000 freaking year old fossil named John McCain still in government, and he's the reason why they should really stop all this gerrymandering of government, all these people that are still in government despite all these years. They become dictators. I mean, he is literally one of the founders of ISIS. Why didn't Ollie North mention John McCain as one of the founders of ISIS? Oh, that just happened to slip his mind, right? He forgot about that one. So, John McCain should be literally culled from Arizona. I mean, that guy should be in pink in one of Arpaio's freaking prison camps. He's so treasonous. He's such a treasonous bastard. I don't understand why he's still even considered a politician here in Arizona. It's quite perplexing to me. We're I believe that was number 3. Number 2. We have, what do we have at number 2? Trump photo returns to Brooklyn restaurant. So you have these libtards in New York and these dumbasses in New York as well that are still drinking the radioactive Indian Point tritium water, and they still think that Trump has like the remote chance of winning. And they're making a big deal. Liberals walked into a restaurant and said, oh, Trump's picture offends me. And now they put it back up and they're saying, oh, forget about it. And that's up on the Gothamist. Trump photo returns to Brooklyn restaurant. Despite backlash from stupid freaking liberals in New York. That's another reason why I'm glad I'm out of New York. I mean, too many liberals. Too many libtards. They agree with anything. Okay, they agree with Comrade de Blasio shitting on their stoop. What's next? They're going to agree with Comrade de Blasio himself taking a hot, steamy shit on their heads? Because that's what he's doing every time he lets bums and homeless people take over Washington Square Park. Now they're taking over freaking children's parks, and they're smoking crack. And New York is literally a toxic waste dump. You don't need the Ninja Turtles to predictively program you to think that. I mean, it is a dump, folks. New York has become a dump, and, I mean, who cares? Who cares what they're hanging up on the wall? They should hang up a picture in that restaurant of Donald Trump as a turd and Hillary Clinton licking it, because that's what you have all over again. You have a giant douche and a turd sandwich running all over again in 2016, and it's never going to end, folks. It's never going to end. I thought that we could have some sanity possibly with the Libertarian Party, but they've been co-opted. They've been bought out. They make about as much noise, the Libertarian Party does, as a church mouse. Literally, a church mouse going through a crumb freaking after after the church got locked down, folks. That's how much noise these guys Johnson and Weld are making. So I believe that was number 2. And let's see, what's the number 1 top 10 list that is trending on the Bruce Montalvo show? And it's got to be cupping.
Yeah,
cupping is the number 1 thing, because you have this genetically modified freak. In Michael Phelps, this Jesuit freak who might as well have glowing red eyes, torturing himself in such a matter. And I have the article right here. Cupping treatment therapy in China leaves man with burn marks all over his back. You posted that.
Yeah. No, that was disgusting. That was like, supposedly it was done wrong, and it was just disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it's torture. It's literally like Opus Dei torture.
Yeah,
it's like them whipping themselves.
They burnt holes in it. You know, like, you can't just go to like the Chinese doctor down the block on, from the street. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe in Chinatown, for example. So you can't go to and just expect like them to have this expertise in cupping. Whatever these fucking Hollywood people got going on, their cupping trend, is probably some low-grade thing, but it's very dangerous. And some guy got holes in his body, like it was burnt holes. It was just disgusting. It was scary. But, I still don't understand the reason for it. It's obviously some kind of a pleasure thing, all right? Now, if it's supposed to relieve some kind of pain, what do we use for pain? I mean, basically...
Oh, we use aloe and natural remedies.
Yeah. I mean, there's comfrey. That'll get your... that's an herb. You can get it in an oil. That'll totally make you heal your bruises very quickly. You have aloe, which has aspirin right in the aloe itself. So it will take down swelling immediately. It will heal burns. It will. We use colloidal silver for topical things. There's certain things that medicine is really not good for, but like including back pain. That's like the worst thing. I mean, back surgeries are almost never successful. But the cupping, even if it is for relief of pain, I can't imagine. You know how much relief of pain you could get just by opening up an aloe leaf and putting it on your back or muscles. Or what about our scalar wands? You can get, I used to sell them. There was a company that you could only get it out of. Now they have them on eBay. You can buy them for like $10, $12. And that company long closed, but still the wand works and it's an amazing wand. And I have 3 more that I bought on eBay, and it is an energy that birds make when they flock together. For example, it's an energy that's found in pockets of the world.
Well, it's like ki.
It's like
ki. I mean, that's why. And let's use the Olympics as an example. If you have stadiums, you have the players or the athletes that feed off the ki of the crowd, and that allows them to play better. I mean, it's all a frequency. It's all frequency, information, healing information, negative information. I mean, it's all just a giant matrix in a way.
Yeah, yep. And we don't know a lot about the world or even how electricity...
I mean, look it up. It's Nikola Tesla science. He's one of the greatest inventors, greatest minds of mankind, humankind.
It was a Nikola Tesla invention. But it was also used before that. Supposedly, that Coral Castle in Florida, I forgot which part, but somewhere not far from.
Right, Coral Castle. They could Google it up.
Yeah,
but if you want to give the audience a clear image of what scalar energy really is, or what it could look like, I mean, you could think the old Frankenstein movies, where you had Dr. Frankenstein raising Frankenstein up in the air, and you saw the things he was working with. Yes, it is.
It's not
yes,
scalar.
It is.
You're wrong. Okay, scalar energy is actually, it comes from crystals. It's a low vibration.
I'm wrong on my own program,
it's low,
folks.
Of course.
This is the Jaja show now.
No,
Let's let her talk.
Can you tell me about electricity? No. So you can't tell me what you think.
I can tell you about many things.
No, because even scientists can't tell you about electricity. Okay, you can't. I've already spoken
The
to...
human body conducts every move
Just because...
of an electrical shock.
Okay, just because you're loud doesn't mean you're right. Okay, just because it's your show, it doesn't mean you're right.
Well, according to Fox News, the more loud they are, the more right they are. So that's the kind of the formula.
Okay, scalar energy is found many different places. It's not Reiki, and it's found.
I'm not talking about Asian massage therapists that give BJ's after. I never mentioned Reiki.
Okay, but I'm not. You can't. You're talking about when it gets off of the crowd. That's not really scalar energy. Scalar energy is specifically healing. Okay, I guess the death ray did come from the thought of, if you put out a certain amount of, you're supposed to be like against all wars, the anti-war weapon. That if you put some kind of a weaponry, that the defensive weapon would be so strong that it would counter it, and stop all wars. So, but that's not what scalar energy is either. See, scalar energy it's a low frequency, and they can make it high, and that's what supposedly they use for HAARP, and they use it to push around their chemtrails, and it's used to heat up things. It is an energy. It's another form of energy, but also, if you have it, like you can have the wand on you, and it'll start healing you. If you spin it, you have to usually activate it. You turn it around. If you use those acupuncture points instead of using acupuncture, you don't even have to touch it. You could go around the point with the scalar wand. It's really amazing, and there are ways of healing in this world besides cupping.
Yeah, the new way to heal all diseases, even cancer itself, will be this CRISPR technology. And if you want to see the video, folks, it's a very, very enlightening video. It's up on YouTube. Genetic engineering will change everything forever. CRISPR. It's on YouTube. And just look at what it did for Michael Phelps.
Yeah, it made him look so great.
The guy's got more gold medals than, freaking Mexico.
And he looks like a leper. They probably were, torturing him, like you said. So what kind of a psychological torture? Why would they do that in Opus Dei? And, what does that have to do with Opus Dei? It's all
part of the breaking down of the mind, and you don't know what type of ritual or what type of ascension or to get this gold medal, what they're making him do. It's literally like the culmination of his career. I mean, they're calling Michael Phelps the crying Michael Jordan because he was crying at the Olympics. I mean, they're having him do all sorts of theatrics just so people can watch. And we're not even watching. We're just watching the highlights on YouTube.
Exactly.
So nobody is watching. He sounded like a retard, like he's got autism or something. Oh, he has ADHD. He sounded kind of loopy. But anyway, that's what you get. I mean, they even told you in this YouTube video, okay, these people behind the genetic engineering will change everything CRISPR video, they told you that they're going to have a lot of mess-ups, a lot of flaws, a lot of screw-ups. And he's one of their best ones.
Right. Right.
Michael Phelps is one of genetic engineering's eugenic science's best screw-ups, I think, with the most gold medals.
No, but they definitely built his body, and they probably just trained him as a swimmer, and that's it. I mean, it's just amazing that anybody can come close, that even that Iranian guy even came close.
You know what I think is amazing? Just to move on. The fact that they want to ban the burqa in Germany.
I think it's great.
Senior German ministers call for ban on wearing burqa. Telegraph.
Well, I mean, any guy can wear any. If you're a criminal, okay, somebody that robbed someone or raped somebody, you can pretend now that you are a woman hiding in a burqa and never be found.
You can go in there and you can even sound like the Cobra Commander. Listen here, you titanium turkey. I'm coming to kill you.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You could be a freaking tranny or pretend tranny or pretend you're drag, whatever, in a burqa.
You could be the Cobra Commander in a burqa.
I don't think they should be legal. Why do I have to fucking see people just from head to toe in this country with black, just with their eyes out.
Well, they want to be just like ISIS. They want to be just like the Black Madonna.
Yeah.
In full burqa.
Yeah, right. It makes them like pure, right? It makes them so pure. In the middle of the desert, they wear black.
They should be wearing a burkini and not a burqa. I think so. I mean, this is America. You want to show off the boobs and legs and all that stuff, right?
If they want to wear shmata on their head, like the Jewish women do, go ahead. Like,
Shmata.
But I mean, the Jewish women, some of them are disgusting. They shave their hair. I mean,
you want to talk about disgusting? You want to talk about disgusting? Little Italy. When you took me through there, it was the most disgusting place I've ever seen. I mean, it got overrun by like Chinese and Japanese, and they're selling freaking oysters next to the freaking drain, next to the sewer drain. And listen to this. I got an article right here. Big story. Mobsters in Little Italy? ? Gentrifying NYC. I mean, Little Italy is like little freaking Saigon or little Korea, anything
Taiwan.
Asian. Even the cannolis there. I mean, you ask them for a cannoli in Little Italy, they give you an egg roll. They give you an egg roll with some freaking custard in it. You know what I mean? Little Italy has gone to shit. I had to go out. How far did we have to go out to at least get some decent Italian? We went to Tony's with the linguine and the garlic, all the millions of garlic they put in there.
That's right. You had to go in the middle of Brooklyn where there are still Italians making.
And you figure that it'd be closer, like in Little Italy. I go down Little Italy and I at least can get a decent freaking linguine and clams or something. Nah, nothing. Zilch.
90% of the pizza or Italian
foreigners.
places they have are Mexicans.
And they have Vicente Fernandez in the background while they're spinning freaking pizza pies instead of like, you know, dun 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 dun.
And I'm sorry,
oh, Mamma mia. None of that.
I like Mexican food, and I think there's a place.
Well, that's why we're here in Arizona.
But
they've got great Mexican food.
But the Mexicans, they salt everything too much. Generally, you know what I'm saying? Over in with the pizza, when you had
that's what you're tasting.
Yeah.
It's too salty.
Disgusting.
No, I had enough. I had enough of New York cuisine when I saw we were in this freaking like Russian guy's pizza parlor. He's not even Italian. He's got a pizza parlor. He's got nothing but Mexicans in there, and they're scratching their asses.
Literally.
And they're grabbing the money from like some Russian accordion lady selling oranges. And I'm waiting there for my eggplant pizza that's skimpy on eggplant.
Yeah, right.
I mean, after that, I looked at you. I said, you know what? I'm never coming to this freaking Pollock's pizza place again.
Yeah, never. But there was constantly, you know, Patsy's was a fuck up. You know, they kept us waiting. Like,
and that broke my heart. That broke my heart because I enjoyed Patsy's a couple of times.
Yeah.
But when they kept me double parked and waiting for a pie for freaking like an hour and a half,
25,
basically,
40 minutes. It was not
just
normal.
to give it to you cold. And, you know, I was going to have a migraine headache. But that worked out because we went out, we got roti instead.
Yeah, we had...
And New York has a couple of hidden gems that you wouldn't know about. But, ladies and gentlemen, be very careful when you're eating roti because don't be one of these idiots who just goes in there and gulps a roti down because they put chicken bone in some of these. You're going to fucking choke.
Yeah.
Choke on roti.
Glorious, I think. That was like a famous
spot
delicious. Down in Crown Heights.
Delicious.
But yeah, but the place, what was it, by Front Street, by Gleason's, across the street from Gleason's, where I used to go.
And had those good eggplant pinwheels.
Yeah, they were pretty good. They was okay. They were okay, you know. Again, a lot of Mexicans there too, but they kind of have them on lock, you know. They watch them, you know. They don't just make up.
But that's the thing. You would agree that there are no more mobsters in Little Italy. Those days are done. The Italians have been kicked out and kicked about and kicked right in the ass.
Italians there.
Four Italians.
There was my friend Vinny Stigma from Agnostic Front. He was living down there. He's about the only Italian guy I know that lives down there.
Right.
But,
that's Agnostic Front. That funny guy.
Punk
a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
A lot of good songs.
Hardcore, not really.
It's my life. It's a good song. It is my life, folks. I don't need anybody, any totalitarian dictator to tell me how to live my life. But here is what's going to happen, folks. The dictator, Obama, and his Obamacare is in for a meltdown. And I have this here from The Hill. next president faces possible Obamacare meltdown. And that's what you have, folks. You have these liberal freaking policies, these failed liberal social policies, and it's all going to come to an end.
Are we going to see photoshopped?
It's all no more freebies.
Are we going to see photoshopped Hillary Clinton with big dicks on her because they can call her the dictator?
They'll put Dennis Rodman's freaking eggplant dick all over her face.
No, I'm saying they're going to put a strap on. I want to see Hillary in a strap on so then she could be the dictator.
That would lead to a lot of humiliation. Okay? What I'm talking about is a complete humiliation for the country, which is the fact that you have all these freaking foreigners from China, from Mexico, it doesn't matter where they're coming from. They're coming here and they want the freebies, and it's all going to come to a crashing end. I mean, when Hillary becomes president, the whole 4 years is going to be about her getting impeached and how corrupt she is. And if you think that it's bad enough that she killed these 3 DNC guys, just wait till you start hearing about all the other lists of people she's going to kill. Just wait till you get to hear about Hillary's kill list.
I just got some intel that Hillary supposedly has Parkinson's, but I don't really believe
Well, I'm supposed to feel bad for her now, like she's Michael J. Fox. Okay, so Hillary has Parkinson's disease, so now I'm supposed to feel bad for her, like she's Michael J. Fox. See, that's a psyop as well. I don't.
Yeah,
feel bad
no. I don't believe that.
She's got a big black guy next to her, injecting her with diazepam at any second. You know what? I believe she doesn't have Parkinson's disease. She is satanically possessed. Okay, she needs a Jesuit priest there to literally conduct the Rituale Romanum. The power of Mithra compels you. The power of and throw the freaking holy water. All that. You'll see. She'll freaking repent. You'll watch the demon repent back into the freaking disgusting crevices where they find these
just
demagogues.
like Jessica Lange did in American Horror Story, who there's pictures of Hillary with her cousin Jessica Lange, which proves that she is related to her. She looks just like her.
What the hell is Hillary Clinton starring in a Broadway freaking play now? Jessica Lange, what? She's an actress. That's all you're saying?
Yes, and that's her cousin is Jessica.
Okay, yes, it's all a hoax. They're all related. They're all Nazis. We know this. Look, I don't care who's related to who. This isn't Nazi
it's
pop.
It's like saying the
this
queen
isn't
has
Nazi
power.
Pop lookalike.
But it's okay. But at the end of the day, what I'm really saying is that the queen, even in England, doesn't have so much power. It's everything else that has the power.
The Dope and his organization has the power because the Dope and his Jesuit organization ordain anything that the Saxe-Coburgs do. If the retarded Saxe-Coburgs want to get married to their cousin, their half-cousin, guess what? They got to ask the Dope for permission. El nombre del Padre, del Hijo, Espíritu Santo. And he does the whole thing, and there you go, folks. There you go. You know, I was speaking about how disgusting New York got and how we had to literally just jump out through the fire escape, and then, there was dead bodies in our block at the corner the night before we skedaddled. We said, forget about it, we're out of New York.
Forget about it.
They have homeless druggies taking over.
Forget about it.
They have homeless druggies taking over Greenwich Village. They have made Greenwich Village their backyard in New York. And now you have subway riders. I'm sure this has happened at least 9,000 times. Why it's being publicized on the stupid New York Daily Spew is beyond me, because this has become like a daily thing under Comrade de Blasio, where you have subway riders smoking crack, raping, roping, getting naked on the number 3 bus.
That's
the
normal.
number 3 train.
Isn't
that normal? How many people did you see diddling themselves on the train and smoking crack? I mean, I can tell you, I saw people smoking crack when I was in New York. I mean, it literally looks like Jacob's Ladder. Whenever you're in the subways, I feel like I'm in a metaphysical, interdimensional, very weird, very demonic freaking world. It's very weird. Maybe I saw Jacob's Ladder too many times, so when I'm in a New York subway, I feel like I'm in hell.
Well, it really started becoming hell because
bunch
2
of
years
spinning
ago,
heads everywhere.
2 years ago, they got the approval. They let everybody know, and they said, we're conducting tests. Attention, attention. We're putting air into the vents and spreading something. I mean, now that they had some incident this year with mosquitoes biting everyone up, then now they're spraying the subways. I mean,
well, they're spraying the entire city. They're controlling New Yorkers' emotions with the barium and the aluminum that is directly affecting their central nervous system.
Yeah, we were in a lot of really bad moods with the humidity and between just...
Well, you become like the angriest man in Brooklyn, like Robin Williams in that movie. I mean, I wanted to punch everybody out. I even wanted to punch you out.
Yeah,
and you punched me out. I mean, it was like the Super Nintendo game Punch-Out! I mean, it was I felt like freaking Tom Jones getting beat by my wife. I mean, that didn't happen. Because she knows better, folks. I mean, you see these hands? You see, these aren't any small Donald Trump hands, folks. I got like that reaction when you go to the doctor and he like hits you with that thing on the knee and you kick back. Well, I punch back. I'm not a hunchback, but I'll punch you back. No, but really, it's gone to shit. New York has gone to shit. I'm so glad to be out of there and be here in the magical, mystical, saguaro, freaking infested desert here. Because, I mean, I'm looking at the pictures of New York. We're not missing out on anything. I mean, you got bums and homeless people with fecal bags all over them, and they look like just a bunch of dead corpses. And you know how cold it gets over there. It's starting to get cold. It's not going to be humid anymore over there. Now the snow is going to come in there, so you're going to have a bunch of frozen turds and frozen rats.
Not so fast.
Be stepping in the snow, stepping on bums and frozen rats and turds.
It gets really nice in New York in like September, October.
No, but what's nice about it? What's nice about subway riders getting naked and smoking crack?
No,
that's so avant-garde. That's so freaking Art Nouveau.
New York is gross. You're jam-packed in the trains. There's no space for anything, especially if you have to go anywhere during rush hour, and it's gross. You like a tuna in a sardine can, sardine in a can.
Yeah.
It's really gross, and even the way you live is very hard. Even if you are wealthy.
You're literally like the cigarette butt of New York. You're a filter. You're breathing in all the crap, all the filth, all the trash, and you're surrounded by it. Speaking of trash and filth, the Pokemon are now raping people.
Really?
Pokemon are now raping people.
Right
now, I could probably be getting raped by a Pokemon in my ear, and I wouldn't even know it. Because they're everywhere now, folks. I mean, all I need is to have the Pokemon app. I have right here, a Russian woman claims a Pokemon Go monster raped her. Raped her as she slept. And I have the article right here in front of me. It's Daily Mail. A woman in Russia claimed Pokemon Go character, which is this is the Charmeleon, I think. It's the one, the little like T-Rex dragon.
She wasn't hallucinating. She
wasn't hallucinating. She said she leapt out of her bed and called the police. I guess she left her Pokemon Go on, and this thing was like doing her.
How did it do it? What do you mean? Why didn't you just shut it off then? One time when we were in Second Life, right? And then I ended up we were in between like finding a new world.
So like in Second Life. Purgatory.
Yeah, it was like second. Yeah, and I was kicked out of GMN, and then we ended up somewhere together, and there was a million bodies, limbs. It was really disgusting. It was really
and a huge Illuminati eye following you.
And this freaking eye came out of it. No matter where I went, now mind you, it was me amongst like 5,000 people, but this eye, no matter what, was coming after me. And everybody could see that it was, too. And then I just took off.
That's because your avatar had big thingies.
No, well, it just had ones that resembled me.
It had big thingies.
Okay, but I just went all the way up. I went zoom, and I went all the way up in the sky, and that motherfucking thing went up in the sky.
Well, the eye in the sky is trying to rape you.
And then I went back into the ocean.
Just like in that
Alan Parsons
song.
And it went into the ocean.
I know.
And then
I was on Skype while this was all happening.
He was so freaky. So you know what I did? I just shut it off. And then I bought
I would have done that too.
Then I bought a little paradise place in the middle of, I don't know.
And then I was on that stripper pole, and my avatar was like dancing naked for you. Anyway, but this Pokemon character was like freaking doing the hibbity dibbity to this Russian woman while she slept. A woman tells police she was raped by a Pokemon Go character after she felt an assault and virtual reality game detected the creature in her bedroom. The woman said she woke up to find a Pokemon on top of her in bed. She had been playing the popular game in her home before she slept. Police, of course, said that she needs psychiatric help. They said that she's crazy, but literally, I mean, what is she, some type of targeted Russian lady? What is she? Did she witness the Russian Roswell? Does she have any documents on
Maybe
the alien, reverse-engineered alien Russian base, Kapustin Yar? Or maybe she just has some big freaking plumpy pleasures, like you mentioned. So
right,
Russian,
and then she left
pleasures.
her little.
Aren't you kind of Russian?
Yes, I'm part Russian.
No wonder you have such plumpy pleasures. Anyway,
I thought it was my Spanish in me, the Spanish part, the Spanish Greek.
Well, it's all mixed in there very well. So now we live in a world where women who are possessed by Satan, constantly having seizures, like Hillary Clinton, are allowed to run, or guys that hang out with Bill Clinton on Epstein's plane and are more tan than a freaking Oompa Loompa, are allowed to pretend to run while they're really just going to give it up to Hillary. I mean, if Hillary, you keep talking about you want to see Hillary in a strap-on. Well, you know who's at the end of that strap-on?
Oh, my.
That's Donald J. Trump.
Oh, wait
but
a
they're
second.
taking turns.
Wait a second. So if Hillary's doing Donald, then what is Alex doing?
Oh, that's right. Well, Alex is just watching from in a corner and jerking it.
Oh no, then
he's prepping Putin.
But he said he was.
Putin is prepping Alex Jones in the butt. Whatever. They're all just one big gay butt-fucking Brady bunch.
One big
and they're all part of the oligarchical big government establishment and the lie and the facade that Trump's really a hero and he's coming to make America great again and he's going to turn the table over in the White House. He's not going to turn shit over. Okay,
no,
he's flying in the same plane as Epstein! A pedophile!
Yes. More TP for his bunghole, dear.
That's all you're going to get. That's all you're going to get. I'm tired of all these faux patriots. You have Edward Snowden. You know how much money he makes anytime he speaks? Anytime he speaks. How much money do I make? If you go to eastbymall.com and use coupon code BruceNY, where you will save 10% on all the best CCTV surveillance for your home and business, then maybe I'll make a percentage. Maybe. But I mean, you got to go and buy my jewelry.
He's more apt to buy.
You got to make my jewelry.
He's more apt to make a little bit of money from our jewelry.
That's right. That's the only place I'm going to make money. But you have NSA agents that have turned patriots that make more money when they speak. No wonder they want him dead. No wonder they want Snowden dead. And even that's a hoax. They have fat idiots on radio talking about, Edward Snowden's dead. Meanwhile, that was probably some freaking Saoirse Falls disinformation, some type of just lie. I mean, wasn't that disproven already? Or his girlfriend said he was dead. But in reality, who cares? Who cares if he's dead? Because he's working for the NSA to spy on you for a better NSA in the end.
Absolutely.
I mean, I made fun of that whole agitprop in New York where they had his bust. It was nothing but a communist freaking facade.
Speaking of NSA intel, you know, today we were listening to Alex, and he basically confessed to the person calling, because he's such a fucking know-it-all. The guy that called, he was a black guy, and he kept saying, "You're a social worker, right? You're a social worker, right?"
You sure he was a black guy?
Yes.
He didn't sound like a black guy.
No, he was, because then he got offended.
So he called the black guy a social worker. How did he know he was a social worker?
And then, because, you tell me how Alex Jones just knew he was a social worker.
Because Alex Jones probably has a bust. They probably have a bust of his fat self with all his triple chins in the NSA somewhere as lead propagandist.
Absolutely.
Or minister of propaganda / he looks like Kaltenbrunner from the Nazi family.
Exactly. So he's a bold, two-faced liar. Rat
bastard.
That's right. He's
a rat bastard, a sellout rat bastard.
You said he sounds like a pig these days. You were like,
he sounds exactly like a pig.
How does he sound like a pig?
Oh, yeah. Hillary Clinton is the one responsible for the derivatives bubble.
And now they're selling pork. And now they're selling pork and bacon.
And now I want to sell you bacon in a box.
Just to prove that he's pork. Pork bellies, you know.
Pork bellies. Speaking of pork bellies. at this article here, AmericanMirror.com. Leaked email shows Soros urged Clinton to intervene in Albania's civil unrest. So you have Soros funding all the COINTEL provocateur groups, the black groups. I mean, he's funding the Clintons, Clinton Foundation, all the hedge funds that are funding Clinton. I mean, this woman gets all the Saudi Arabian money. Maybe she gets $1 out of your... no, most definitely she gets $1 from your tax dollars. But at the end of the day, that's my point. She gets more money from Saudi Arabia than she does you. So she has more allegiance to the Saudis than the Americans. So she's running to be Saudi Arabia's president in America.
Yeah, I was looking at something about her and rubies, and the Saudi Arabian, I forgot his name, Saudi Abdullah, blah, 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 Abhir, blah, 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 you know, Abdullah. He gave her like $500,000 worth of jewels at one point, about in 2013. He gave her diamonds and rubies and necklaces, earrings.
What do they want to date? Hillary Clinton?
Yeah,
La Chola? They're giving her diamonds and rubies? You know how fat she used to be? When her and Bill Clinton would go to, like, you know, vacations and stuff, she wore this little blue freaking bikini, and like her ass literally looked like an elephant's ass. Hillary Clinton has like an elephant's ass. Is that what Saudi Arabia
What
is
difference
like?
does it make? Okay, you're not looking at her ass.
A chunky, fat, lard ass.
Why? Who cares? So what?
Oh, the National Enquirer's right. She gained 103 pounds.
No,
She's got a chunky lard ass.
That National Enquirer, they're like Scientologists that work to control people.
Scientologists.
Yeah, they're yes, the people that run National Enquirer are the same people that run the Scientology. That's why
Where'd
John
you read that on
Travolta.
Snopes?
No. That's why John Travolta gets. Every time they want to whip him into shape, they all expose him for being gay. Or Tom Cruise. What do you think? They run the National
they
Enquirer.
They
keep their stars in check with the
right,
National Enquirer.
Well, then, I tell you, somebody should keep Seth Rogen in check because he stinks.
Lucille
he
Ball's
stinks. I used to think Kevin Smith made like the worst movies. I mean, okay, Jay and Silent Bob, yeah, they're funny. We're funny.
You like Pineapple Express.
Look, Sausage Party, really? I mean, this is like the gayest freaking thing ever. I don't think it's racist that they had Salma Hayek be a burrito. I mean, Salma Hayek should literally go fuck herself back to freaking Veracruz or wherever the fuck she's from, that freaking Latin spicy
They should have
freaking
had J-Lo
whore.
do taco.
No, J-Lo is too busy about to portray a Colombian freaking cocaine queen pretty soon on HBO.
Classy.
I don't know. Yeah, how classy. It's really right up her alley because she's a classless bitch.
She's a fashion designer.
Mean bitch. Fashion, yeah, right. She goes and she hacks some fox with like a machete and then puts the tail over her freaking her freaking neck, covering her big old fat ass that needs like 3 limousines to get in.
Talk about fat ass.
She's got a big, disgusting, big old fat ass. And she literally needs like 3 limousines. These aren't the days where she wore the little green freaking dress. Those days are far gone. Her ass is probably fatter than Hillary Clinton's ass. Her head is fatter than Hillary Clinton's ass.
You're one to talk about having fat asses, Bruce.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, folks. I'm all out of words. Look, the Saudi Arabians are probably enticed with Hillary Clinton. They love her. They send her chocolates. They send her flowers. So much so that I think Saudi Arabia is behind all these hackers and all these hackers that are publishing the list of cell phones, numbers, private emails for most of the House Democrats. That's up right now. The smoking gun, a big hack. I mean, you could call it verbal poo-poo if you want, but who knows? They probably have Hillary Clinton getting freaking gang-banged by, like, Uma and, like, the entire BLT sandwich community.
That would get her elected.
Well, that's getting her elected.
But then she would be, like, spread eagle, so then that would kind of be American, right?
Yeah, she would be spread eagle in the Oval Orifice. Why do you think, that's the thing, why do you think they call the Oval,
Congress.
Why do you think they call the Oval Office the Oval Office? Sounds like ovaries.
Yeah.
The Oval Ovaries. So that's what you're going to get. The Oval Ovaries are coming to Washington.
Or the oral, sounds like oral.
Oh, well, Bill took care of the oral back in the day. He took care of that. It was the oral office when he was in there. Now it's going to be the oval office, the ovaries office. Cysts and all. I mean, her disgusting, freaking polluted vagina. Ugh.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be thinking about her pussy or her ass. She's the president. She's gonna be. You think about the queen's pussy and ass?
Oh my God, that is the most disgusting,
it's the same
wretched
thing.
abyss.
Well, then why are you
could find.
sexualizing?
The queen's pussy and ass probably have teeth.
Why do we have to sexualize a politician just because her name is Clit and her and the other guy's name
Trust
was Bush?
me, nobody wants to see Hillary Clinton naked except the Saudi Arabians because. I mean, look what it did to Bill. He's out there raping women because he had to endure seeing Hillary naked.
I doubt he raped women. It just came to me, but I don't think he did. I think that
he paid off all the bitches, and Hillary was able to scare off all the hoes so much with all the targeting and the intel and the NSA.
They could have all worked together to
that eventually they said, look, we're going to kill you just like we killed Seth Rich and Lucas, so why don't you just take this hush money and, we'll put you on all the right-wing shows that we own.
Maybe they were trying to hustle him for money. Maybe he did fuck them and they just try to hustle him for money. I'm just telling you, as a woman, I can see, like you said, like you saw on, on Family Guy, this Bill Clinton was able to get into bed with anybody. He
slept with Lois. He slept with Peter.
Right. He's a celebrity. He was good looking.
He probably slept with Loretta Lynch.
I'm sure there's.
He loves skankly women.
You said Loretta Lynch. So I mean,
who knows? They probably got the cell phone numbers and the emails of that. Hacker horror. All cell phone numbers, emails of Democrats in Congress leaked. So Pelosi's going ape shit right now.
Oh. Pelosi's
going ape shizzle.
You just showed me her face. I just yawned. I'm sorry about that. But
she's a very boring looking
I was
woman.
Just like, oh my God.
Every time I look at her face, I hear like the Looney Tunes.
Her again? Oh. But she actually, I'm convinced that she's related to Nancy Pelosi. I'm very convinced. She told, Nancy Reagan.
Who?
Nancy Pelosi is related.
She's related to herself.
Nancy Reagan.
She's the immaculate fucking conception.
Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, they look very similar.
They look very similar. I mean, who the fuck is Pelosi? Where does she come from? She just, pops out of nowhere. I mean, who the fuck was she? She's connected with everything. Ms. Mobstress, Donna Pelosi. I mean, she's probably German, and I think she really comes from that family with, I think Pelosi is just a married name, but she herself is German.
But I tell you what these Germans in America want to do here. They want to turn America into Venezuela. Mark my words, folks. We are just going head first. We are steamrolling our way into being a freaking third world hellhole.
So what you're saying that
like
Texas,
Venezuela.
We should move to Texas?
Hey, Texas might secede because Texas has a long history of not going with that crap, so Texas might secede. So I don't know. I might like to find myself on the right side of the border. If you know what I mean.
Maybe, yeah.
If you know
Barack,
what I
Barack
mean.
is moving there.
And that's what gives me some worry as well, because Texas could also be the ideal Agenda 21. Many people have said cities like Austin are an ideal Agenda 21 type city. But with that, we are running out of time.
I know.
We have covered so much. In the fastest 2 hours in alternative talk, you have Bruce and Jaja here live every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, broadcasting from the coolest place in the Wild West, Tucson.
That's
you got to
right.
stay cool in Tucson.
Mm-hmm.
The Wild West, folks. We're gunslingers
Friday
out
night,
here.
Shabbat Shalom. Over here, you know what I'm saying?
Hashtag Shabbat Shalom.
That's
Hashtag Friday nights. Hashtag Montalvo Friday nights. And just
Bruce and John.
hashtag we kick ass, period. And thank you for listening. Thank you for listening because you are the reason we do this.
That's right. Bye.
And with that, we say sayonara, we say goodbye, we say adieu. Until next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, later, folks. Peace.
forget to go to Bruce Montalvo TV on YouTube and Exposed News on YouTube. Subscribe. See you later, folks.